I never thought I'd become the kind of woman people whisper about. The one who breaks the code. The one who crosses a line you can't uncross. But it didn't start like that. It never does. My name is Emily. I'm 26, and I live in Chicago. I work in a creative agency. The kind where everyone wears black and pretends to be cooler than they are. I love oat milk lattes, hate confrontation, and I've always been the responsible friend. The good girl. The one who gives advice. Who keeps secrets. Who never causes drama. Clara was the opposite of me in every possible way. She had this energy. Loud. Radiant. Magnetic. People loved her instantly. And she loved the attention. We met in college and just clicked. She pulled me out of my shell. I grounded her when she spiraled. For years, we were inseparable. The kind of friendship you think will last forever. Then she met Noah. And everything changed. He was perfect. You know how sometimes you meet someone and instantly feel like they're the center of the room? That was Noah. Tall. Disarmingly calm. He spoke slowly, like he was choosing every word. And when he looked at you, he really looked. It was unnerving at first. Clara met him through her job. They weren't together long before she brought him to one of our wine nights. The first time I saw him, I felt something shift. Not in a romantic way, not yet. But something in the way he studied me. As if he already knew who I was. As if he saw something no one else did. He was polite. Thoughtful. The kind of boyfriend who brings flowers for no reason. Clara adored him. Bragged about him constantly. And honestly, I was happy for her. She deserved someone good. That's what I kept telling myself. Even as things began to feel weird. Subtle at first. Comment that landed too personal. A glance that lasted a second too long. But I ignored it. 'Cause that's what you do when you're the good friend. You trust. You smile. You stay in your lane. Until the lane disappears. And you find yourself somewhere you never meant to be. I didn't fall for him on purpose. But once I did, I didn't know how to stop. At first, I thought I imagined it. The way he'd laugh just a little too hard at my jokes. The way he always found a seat near me at parties. The way he looked at me, like he was waiting for me to look back. But I told myself it was harmless. Noah was Clara's boyfriend. I had rules. And feelings didn't mean actions. Right. Then Clara started changing. She got promoted. Took on more hours. Suddenly, she was busy all the time, working late, traveling for conferences. I saw her less. But weirdly, I started seeing Noah more. He'd swing by to drop off something for Clara and stay for a drink. Sometimes we'd talk. Sometimes he'd vent. About work. About his family. And eventually, about Clara. She's amazing, you know. But lately, I don't know. It's like she's everywhere but here. I didn't know how to respond. I just nodded. Offered polite sympathy. But deep down, something stirred. Because I felt it too. That quiet loneliness. That ache to be seen. To be chosen. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like someone actually saw me. We started texting. At first, it was innocent. Funny memes. Random updates. An occasional you'd get this message when he saw something in the wild. Then it became more. Late-night chats. Inside jokes. Moments I didn't tell Clara about. I told myself it was friendly. that it didn't mean anything. But when you hide something from your best friend, you already know it means something. One night, Clara had to fly to New York for a work event. She asked me to stop by their place to water her plants. Noah was home when I arrived. I planned to be in and out. I didn't even take off my coat. But he offered wine. Said it'd be weird drinking alone. And I said yes. One glass turned into two. We sat on the floor of their apartment, music low, the city lights filtering through the blinds. And then he told me something I'll never forget. If I'd met you first, I think my life would have looked very different. I froze. The air in the room changed. Everything in me screamed leave. But I didn't. I stayed. And that moment, that sentence, became a door. One I wasn't sure I wanted to open. But part of me already had. It wasn't love. Not yet. But it was already betrayal. That night haunted me long before it was over. I didn't kiss him first. But I didn't stop him either. One moment we were laughing. The next, his hand brushed against mine. Then, silence. And then, he leaned in. Soft. Careful. Like he was asking with his lips if it was okay. And I didn't pull away. It was barely a kiss. 1 second. Maybe 2. But it shattered something inside me I couldn't glue back together. As soon as it happened, we both recoiled. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I shouldn't have." I grabbed my coat, mumbled something, and left. The cold air outside felt like punishment. Like maybe it could freeze the guilt before it took root. But it was too late. Because guilt doesn't bloom in moments. It grows in echoes. And that night echoed in me for days. We didn't talk after that. No texts. No calls. Just silence. And silence felt louder than anything else. I avoided Clara. I told her I was busy, sick, swamped with work. Anything to avoid looking her in the eyes. Because I couldn't forget what I'd done. And I couldn't stop wondering if he'd told her. But he didn't. And after a week, he texted. "Can we talk?" I should have said no. I should have blocked him, confessed everything, or moved cities. But I said yes. We met at a park. No hugs. No small talk. Just him. Looking at me like I was both a mistake and a wish. "It shouldn't have happened," he said. But I haven't stopped thinking about it. Neither had I. And that scared me more than anything. That kiss didn't destroy everything. But it opened the door, and we both stepped through. After the park, we agreed. No more. It was a moment. A lapse. We'd move on. And for a little while, we did. We pretended. Polite smiles at group dinners. Short replies in the group chat. I went back to being Clara's shadow. And he went back to playing the perfect boyfriend. But the thing about pretending, you can only hold your breath for so long. The next time was 2 weeks later. Clara was out of town again. Noah texted. Just 3 words. "Are you home?" My heart was in my throat before I even answered. I told myself it was just a talk. That we needed closure. But closure isn't real when the door was never truly shut. He came over. We sat on my couch, 2 feet apart, saying everything and nothing. "I think about you," he said quietly. "More than I should." I didn't reply. 'Cause I thought about him too. He leaned in again. And this time, we didn't stop. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't gentle. It was desperate. Guilty. Like we both knew it was wrong, and that made it worse. That night, I couldn't sleep. I laid in bed staring at the ceiling, trying to feel anything but shame. I wasn't in love. Not yet. But I was tangled. And the deeper I went, the harder it became to see a way out. We didn't plan to continue. But we did. Secret messages. Stolen hours. Every moment with him was followed by self-loathing and longing. I avoided Clara as much as I could. When I did see her, she'd smile like everything was perfect. She'd gush about their future, about maybe moving in together. And I'd sit there, smiling, nodding, all while carrying a secret that was rotting me from the inside. I told myself I wasn't the villain, that it was complicated, that I was hurting too, but deep down, I knew Clara wasn't stupid. She could feel it. She didn't say anything at first, but I saw it in her eyes. The way she looked at Noah when he was distracted. The way she hugged me a little tighter, like she was holding onto something slipping. And Noah. He was unraveling. He texted more. Called when he shouldn't. Sometimes he said things that scared me. I think I love you. What if we ran away from all of this? She doesn't know me like you do. I begged him to stop. Told him this had to end. But he wouldn't let go. And maybe I didn't want him to. One night, Clara showed up at my apartment. No warning. Just a knock on the door, and a look I'll never forget. "You forgot your scarf," she said, holding it out. But her eyes, they were hollow. She stepped inside. And then she said it. "Are you sleeping with him?" Time stopped. I froze. Because it wasn't a question. It was a confirmation. "I saw the messages," she said. "I saw how he looks at you. I needed to hear you say it." I couldn't speak. Tears filled her eyes, but she didn't cry. "You were my sister, Emily." She left without another word. I sank to the floor. Because there's no version of this where I wasn't the villain. No explanation. No apology. Nothing could fix what I broke. I tried calling Noah. No answer. I texted, "She knows." He didn't reply. In the end, I didn't just lose her. I lost him too. And maybe I deserved both. The days after Clara found out were a blur. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I just existed. The guilt was unbearable. But what broke me wasn't just losing Clara. It was Noah's silence. He vanished. No texts. No calls. No explanations. He ghosted both of us. One moment he was telling me he loved me. The next, gone. And I realized something. He didn't choose me. He never would. I wasn't his future. I was his escape. And now I had nothing left to escape to. I tried to reach out to Clara. Wrote her a letter. Left it at her door. Told her how sorry I was. How I'd never meant to hurt her. How I still didn't know how it all spiraled the way it did. She never replied. A mutual friend told me she moved out of her place. Changed jobs. Blocked me on everything. I can't blame her. If I were her, I'd hate me too. My world shrank. Friends faded. Nobody said anything directly, but the shift was obvious. I was the girl who stole her best friend's boyfriend. Even if he was never really mine. I started therapy. Not because I was trying to fix things, it was too late for that. But because I couldn't keep living with that version of myself. People think the worst part of betrayal is being betrayed. But sometimes, it's realizing you were the betrayer. It's been almost a year. And I still think about it sometimes. Not the kiss. Not the secret nights. Not even Noah. I think about Clara. The sound of her laugh. The way she used to braid my hair when we'd stay up talking. The look on her face the night it all fell apart. And then, I think about me. The girl I was. The version of myself who thought loyalty meant never feeling something messy. Who thought being quiet made her safe. But here's the truth. I wasn't safe. I wasn't good. I was human. And humans break. But they also rebuild. Therapy helped. A lot more than I expected. At first, I just wanted someone to tell me I wasn't a monster. But instead, she asked me why I let myself become a secret. Why I accepted crumbs and called it connection. It took me months to answer. 'Cause deep down, I'd never really chosen myself. Not with Clara. Not with Noah. Not ever. These days, I live in a smaller apartment. I deleted all my old photos. Started fresh. I still have friends, new ones, mostly. Ones who don't know that version of me. But I do. And I keep her close. Not to punish her. But to remember who I don't want to be again. I don't know what happened to Noah. I don't care. He was a mirror. And when he left, he shattered, and I had to face my own reflection. And Clara. If she ever reads this. I hope she knows I never meant to hurt her. But I did. And I'll carry that forever. We all have chapters we wish we could rip out. But they still shape the story. And maybe, that's how we grow.